me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Show me what democracy looks like.
Through this homeless camp, it is our protest. It is like, we want you all to see this.
The criminalization of homelessness, it was described as cruel, and all of those things by the UN. It's becoming increasingly clear in the bigger picture that it is not legal or moral to punish people for sleeping when they have no other place to go.
The Human Rights Commission, which is part of the city government, has made a very strong recommendation in writing, unanimously, that the city should not shut down Whoville until there are rest stops or their equivalent to receive them. They have advised the city council this is in violation of international human rights treatises.
Whoville is like a tent village, and it's a community. And it is particularly moving because these are people who were strangers, who came together from different, they're actually driven together by the county and the city when they were evicting people from the wetlands and other open areas where people were camping. And so they came together.
I mean, look at them. I mean, they're just like, they're like a community, like a family. And this is the first home I've had in a long time. That's all I have.
For them, there is nowhere to go. There is no shelter that's open. There's no spots available. There's not very much assistance readily available to these residents at all. That's why they're here in the first place.
It's hard for us to be out here like this, but we don't have no other place to go.
But I can tell you, it's very painful being cold. Very painful.
I can't tell you what pain does to your thought processes, and then lack of sleep.
Sleep deprivation makes people crazy. That's why it's the most universally used form of torture in the world. For the city manager and police chief to consider using sleep deprivation against people who are disabled, people who have mental illness, people who have addiction problems, people who are living in a refugee camp. How is that even tolerable?
We're fighting for the right to just live on Earth, simply, you know, and be a point of light that is actually like a pathway that someone can walk down. Like friend here, he hasn't taken down his tent yet, but he just moved a bunch of stuff out today. He's got a job, he's got a house.
This has been a pretty unusual model that's actually working. We have to be innovative. We don't have resources to take care of the homeless. We don't have resources to take care of the people who have mental illness and addiction. What are we going to do?
From the people that this place has helped and have passed through here, you're talking hundreds.
Hey, Red, this is my buddy Red. He's one of my rescuers. Oh, I've got to go to the clinic. I've been saying
Well, a lot of other people like that are really, I mean, they're chronically homeless. You know, they probably will never have a home. This is a place where they can come and feel safe and protected, you know, and looked after.
This really wonderful moment has happened with that community where they have discovered that they can help each other and that in community they're stronger. If somebody needs to make a phone call to check on a job interview and they don't have a phone, there are other people, oh, can I use your cell phone? You know, I'm expecting this call and keep it all day in case they call you back. There's folks that in the morning the breakfast was a beer. And now in the morning this breakfast for them.
People with sociological and physical traumas and disabilities have managed to find shelter here in a way which is not possible in any institutionalized organization.
I haven't slept as good in years. And when I'm ready to go to bed, I crawl in and it's a blessing.
But it's this place. It is the fact that we have this place to offer to people that allows people to feel safe enough to reach out for resources, that they have a home base to reach out from.
My philosophy on Whoville is this. Whoville isn't a cure. Whoville is half a step up off the street. Half a step. It's a community where they can come, they can stay for as long as they need to get their feet back under them and hopefully transition into community-supported shelters or Opportunity Village or another step up from the street from Whoville. It's a process. Very few people actually come off of the street and straight into a house and a job. That model just doesn't happen.
You know, at least 30% of the homeless in Eugene have been through here and at least came here and warmed up or used some facility we have here, from medical to food to warming to sleeping here for a night or just getting a blanket here, you know, like from like the community network that's hooked up here.
The citizens of Whoville have courageously created a safety net for many who otherwise seek dubious refuge in various corners of the city. At Whoville, they share supplies, food, clean water, bathrooms, and a hand washing station. The occupants check in on each other frequently as they depend on each other for physical and mental support. Occupy Medical offers preventative treatment for many issues that commonly afflict unhoused citizens during wintertime, including, but not limited to, influenza, H1N1, bronchitis, pneumonia, atypical pneumonia, UTIs, and an array of skin conditions such as trench foot and frostbite. Under these circumstances, it is less likely that they will or can access the health care they need. Life on the streets is dangerous. Sleep deprivation chips away at the body and the mind. Separating Eugene's Whoville citizens from access to adequate health care is a serious issue. Separating Eugene's Whoville citizens from a bathroom is a serious contamination issue for the entire community.
Support us. Don't make us move. It's too hard. It's just too hard.
Very rough out here, but I mean, it's all, you know, it's a lot rougher if we weren't all together.
I want to thank the community for the support they've given us, and have some mercy.
Today at Whoville is the start of a long walk for little 10-year-old Keegan, who is walking to Salem to hand-deliver letters to our legislator asking for compassion and some help in dealing with the homeless issue in Oregon and in fact particularly here at Whoville.
Keegan's kindness is it's a 2-year-old little boy who has terminal brain cancer.
I watched it KVL and there was this guy, Ken. He was in a wheelchair and he was crying, and that was inspired me to do this. I said, enough is enough.
He's gone through 2 chemo treatments now. He is in remission currently, but with his type of cancer, we just don't know if it's going to come back or not. For him to take on these tasks, no matter what he's faced with, you know, I'll let him do it.
Keegan, he comes and serves food. He brings hamburgers and pizza and soup, and he's my hero. Keegan is my hero.
I'm feeling really good about this. I'm excited.
It's just beautiful. It's a 10-year-old giving this message out, and it's so heartwarming. feels beautiful. It's awesome when he shows up.
He is representing the homeless people, and he wants to help them get into a place, get them off the streets.
It made me so mad that they had to suffer like all this. No, they shouldn't.
Having a place to sleep shouldn't be something we have to fight tooth and nail to get for our underprivileged citizens.
It's going to Salem. The message is going to the capital of Oregon. Beautiful. It's awesome.
Keegan rocks.
This is mostly going to be the longest walk I've ever done in my life.
That we have the highest rate of unsheltered homeless out of 47 states. Whoa. Only California, Florida, and Hawaii have communities with a higher rate of unsheltered homeless people. We are 19th in the nation on a per capita basis of the unsheltered homeless. Every community north of the 40th parallel does a better job than we do in providing shelter. Whoa. And that kind of confirmed what I have experienced in 20 years of serving as a pastor of this congregation and just seeing the increasing need. This church has served people for well over 50, 60 years, beginning with a clothing ministry that launched in the 50s. We were first to sign up with the parking lot shelter program, housed over 120 people in the last 15 years. The Egan Warming Center that we service the downtown site for, the Interfaith Shelter Program that we've been involved in for over 20 years. And then 4 or 5 years ago, we launched our Sunday breakfast, free breakfast, open to the community. And we began with, many people familiar with that, with about 40 people that showed up that first time, and then 50. And then we moved to twice a month, and we got a few more, and then we moved every Sunday, and now we're serving close to 300 on most Sundays, and often over 300.
People underestimate the value of having a little place to lay your head down. They have their houses. I know for sure that I was very ungrateful for it, because I didn't know what it was like to not have a place. You know, and now that I am homeless, I know that feeling, and it sucks to not have a place to sleep every night, you know, and even if it's not the warmest house, it's a tent, it's somewhere to keep you dry, somewhere to keep your stuff in. It's a home.
It just indicates to me of how severe the problem is and why we have to find better solutions for people to get them off the street. And, you know, camping out is not great. Situation of people I know is not optimum, but it's better than sleeping in an alley. It's better than sleeping in a doorway. At least it's a safe place where you can get a good night's sleep. So it's a start.
Shutting down Whoville starting tomorrow is not treating the unhoused with dignity and respect. It's treating them with disrespect. To evict those physically and mentally ill persons prior to the readiness of the site being ready, the new rest stop we're talking about, is humane, dangerous, and against the wishes of the council. No public good is served by an eviction prior to the readiness of rest stop number 4 to be ready to go, and certainly prior to the deadline on the 15th of April for the closing of Whoville. Eugene is a compassionate city. We want our city government to be compassionate as well. Together with the folks at Whoville, the folks here and folks throughout this community, we can do what's right. Down Whoville starting tomorrow is not treating the unhoused with dignity and respect. It's treating them with disrespect. To evict those physically and mentally ill persons prior to the readiness of the site being ready, the new rest stop we're talking about, is humane, dangerous, and against the wishes of the council. No public good is served by an eviction prior to the readiness of rest stop number 4 to be ready to go, and certainly prior to the deadline on the 15th of April for the closing of Whoville. Eugene is a compassionate city. We want our city government to be compassionate as well. Together with the folks at Whoville, the folks here and folks throughout this community, we can do what's right. City Manager John Reese, meet with us. City Manager John Reese, do not shut down Whoville until April 15th. That's enough time to make it work. Together, we can be the community we can be proud of. Thank you.
What's really wrong is our government hasn't set up places like this in advance. And we're criminalizing people that are just trying to stay alive. That's all. They got their house on their back, you know? Yeah, if they're lucky to have a tent. They're real lucky to have a place to put it up.
Older people like Carrie and stuff, they need a place to sleep during the day, and like downtown, no. I mean, if it's like 3 in the morning, you're downtown, you go in an alley, you're probably not gonna get messed with until like 7 in the morning when the bike cops start rolling. But here you can take a nap anytime you want to, and you're not gonna get messed with, and it's really important. It's stressful when you're just tired walking around, you have nowhere to go, nowhere to put your bag down. You try to sit somewhere and the cop's like, oh, you're blocking the sidewalk, get up. You know what I mean? I was just downtown today and like I was with a group of like 5 or 6 people and we were just sitting down talking, you know, not doing anything wrong. He goes, you guys are blocking the sidewalk, you need to go, you know? And it's just like, well, where am I supposed to go other than here?
When people come here, they're pretty tired, and if they can put up, you know, a little shelter and sleep, you know, a few days, have a couple of beers, relax and smoke, you know, they feel a lot better. They're different, and that's security, you know. The security of knowing that their stuff isn't going to disappear, you know, like your bedroll.
Even the people that are in like that kind of trouble, they're all getting something from this place. It's just a matter of how people see it. You know what I mean? They don't see it because they don't want to. They don't want to see it. But like we see it. Like, you know, half the people that come into this place, they need our help. We provide it. Like, we might not be able to give them alcohol or anything, but we give them a sturdy, secure place to be. You know, like that's the important part. We're doing what the government doesn't.
So I'm a videographer that's been following sleeps since we realized how important it was to give people that are disabled, our youth, our veterans, every human being, the ability to shelter themselves from the rain and get a good night's sleep so they can be productive the next day and make everybody's wishes come true. And so I came up with this idea to move into Whoville last week so that I could capture some of these people's stories that don't share them very easily and see for myself what this really feels like. And I just want to tell you that people over there are really scared right now. They're really scared and they really need the community to step up. They're going back to the woods where women are being raped because they're forced to go hide in the dark to sleep. And they found some sort of shelter there and some safety that they haven't had for a long time. And if you think those tents don't mean something, you try being homeless and be given a tent when you're not usually allowed to even sit on a curb or sleep at night. So people that were getting a lot better in Whoville, like, I mean some serious success stories, I know because I've been listening to them. People that are really struggling with drug addiction are finding sobriety. People that really struggle with mental illness are finding a sense of security and actually being able to function like they haven't for 15 years on the streets. And what I'm witnessing is people relapsing, you know, people scared and people stressed out and going back to some old ways. And it's not okay. And what's really not okay is I took 2 stories that will change my life forever. I will never be the same after hearing 2 women's stories yesterday. And I think it's time for us to put a stop to this, because everybody, no matter whether you're a drug addict, no matter what your story is in life, you should have the right to sleep. You should have the right to get a chance to be better the next day and do all the things everybody wants you to do. I believe, after watching what I've seen for the last week especially, that we're causing these problems in a big way. We really are. If you force people not to be able to sleep, and half the people you interview say, I'm just trying to figure out how to stay up all night so I don't get harassed by the police, then the rules themselves are causing the problems. If you prevent mentally disabled people from sleeping, and then you wonder why they're in the streets out of control and don't have their illnesses in control, then you're causing the problem, right? So that I believe that the rules themselves are causing the problem. So sending them back in, we're not only hiding it, but we're making it worse. We're making it a lot worse. And I think that's what they've been missing for a long time. They say 20 years they've been working on this problem. I read in Alan Zelenka's state of address for the city, his whole address was about the homeless issue. And he feels like he's put all this energy into it, but they keep doing the same thing, hoping for different results. It'd be really nice if we just try something different that's working to a large degree, make it better, give it time to make it better, and see what the results of that are.
I know that the amount of people that are flopped out in doorways and urinating and defecating, behind buildings has diminished in the downtown and midtown and West University area. So that's been a positive thing, because a lot of those people are here and they have facilities, restroom facilities, and they have a place, to keep their head dry at night as opposed to someone's doorway. So that has been one thing that has been beneficial. Sometimes I don't necessarily know who is a volunteer and who's a resident who's trying to help out here, but I do know that there are a lot of people in the community who dropped off supplies, that bring water, that come here to help, maybe nurture those in need. I don't know what the numbers are, but I think it's a sizable effort. I've seen that effort firsthand. And again, that's the type of support that no longer, because of cost, can be provided by the state, so that citizens of the community are willing to step up and take that burden on, I think is commendable. I'm supportive of the efforts to try and help disadvantaged people. I also am upheld to uphold certain rules and regulations, in the course of my job. So sometimes those don't necessarily come together, but that's why I think my role is important, to try and find that common ground, to keep the lines of communication open. Sometimes we agree to disagree, but I think it's much better to do it in this manner than to have a completely adversarial relationship, and then it tends to, the outcome tends to be less successful.
They are not arresting anybody. They're allowing people to pack up. So long as they continue to pack, they will not make arrests. They said they will bring people to where they want to go. Reality is there's no place for them to go. They knew we were going to be signing a contract to take folks to the science factory. The only thing holding it up is we wanted to talk with the science factory again today and make sure they were okay, because quite frankly we need the science factory's buy-in, because we're looking to set yet another site over there. So we wanted to work with them as allies.
And I woke up and I looked out and you could see the street, and I saw 3 officers and a little something, cones. I woke right up and I said, hey, I think today's the day. And he's like, I knew. Because they started working on the sign, and that was a disruption. We kind of had a feeling. We heard the helicopters coming in low the night before. Just to be safe, he had me load up cart to take like anything that was, little things. Not like the sleeping bags, the little things that mattered. You can obviously see that many attempts have left. We were breaking down the social centers. We were having a yard sale. We were getting rid of stuff. What is the point if we're saying, okay, we know we're leaving? They could have given us that time. It's just unnecessary to be that much of a piece of shit to somebody.
With an agreement pending on the table, this is absolute bull. When we have a spot
that we're waiting to be approved, and we have this many people already signed resident agreements ready to go. This is ridiculous. You don't come in here with people on the roof, observers on the roof. We've got cameras. Have you seen these cameras up here? You seen the guy in black up on the roof? It's like, really? Is that really necessary?
I just want to know where I'm going after this, really. All this up in the air, whatever they're doing.
Did you sign one of the contracts? Were you one of those people that was willing
Yeah,
to?
with Red. So, see how that goes.
I didn't expect them to do this. I don't know how sick I am. This is the only home I got. They take care of me here.
Give me a hug first, honey.
You don't know how sick I am.
Give me a hug first, and then we'll work on that.
And we said, can I leave, take some storage, and come back and still get more stuff, you know? And they said, absolutely. As long as there's progress, you guys are fine. Last thing I knew, I took off. When I came back, 2 bulldozers and a fence. No tents, no people. Really, none of those cops either. To talk, nobody. And then I ran into, you know, Trish, and she told me what happened to Ryan.
I know this guy's just stressing me that he's saying he's gonna send everybody into her place and stuff, and like tear it down. And he said like, I was like, he's come back. And he said like, if you didn't know back in a couple of minutes, you can just tear it down. You better take the car out of here.
A person that I care about is not here, and that's really hard. But it's hard for a good reason. I just can't wait to see him.
The only part I have a problem with is taking care of my stuff and everybody all at the same time.
Bag over here. Somebody need a bag?
The emotional distress of these officers in here forcing us out like this is really difficult on all of us.
We were born on this planet. We have the right to use this planet. We have the right to be here.
We befriended them, thinking, you know, as long as we're not violent, we work with them. That was wrong what they did. It was just straight wrong.
Everybody. I mean, there isn't a one single advocate that wasn't stunned. Stunned. Like, none of us expected that. We're like, oh yeah, we're working towards a solution. We're only 4 days past the beginning of the time period. Everybody's moving out. It's so obvious that people are cooperating. And then we're going to spend as much. We could have given people some help for how long with the money that they spent on that?
I'm mad. Like, I'm done. Like, don't deceive me. Don't lie to me. That's all, you know, don't be a liar. Don't be a thief. And they were both. I've not been able to get any help. A change of clothes that will fit me. I mean, all my stuff was, I don't even have I go to court looking like this tomorrow. When I need to sleep, I'll figure it out. I miss the peace of mind and the solace of having some familiarity and growing comfortable with people. I didn't know that. I've been a recluse all my life. That place, it helped me so much. I mean, just to see these guys show up today, it's so fucking awesome. This is what I'm talking about. I mean, people give a shit about people.
Thank you.